So, guys, now let us discuss the insertion procedure in a circular queue. Okay, and then we will see deletion operation. So we are talking about circular queue. So when I say circular queue, logically it should looks like an array where elements will be in the form of circle. So if 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, index 5. This is our logical visualization of a circular queue. But we know that the memory is not circular like this. So memory, when we create an array in the memory, it is simply a linear collection of cells. It is just sequence of consecutive memory locations. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So this is actual memory, but we want to represent the memory in the form of a circular queue so that we visualize this particular array in the form of this structure. Okay, so this is not physical representation, this is just our conceptual. We make it, convert it into circular. Now we need, when we use circular queue, we also need two index variable for rear and front. Okay, now for insertion algorithm, first step that we should examine is to verify whether overflow condition occurs or not. So what is that overflow condition in a circular queue? Okay, this is very critical. The step 1 is to check overflow. Now what is the overflow condition in a circular queue? If it has a normal, see, if it is a normal queue, then we could have simply verified that rear equal to max, because the moment the value of rear increases to max, then we say it is overflow. But in a circular queue, we cannot simply say if rear equal to max, then it is overflow, because we may have some space available in the left, in from 1, 2 and so on. Okay, now suppose we have exactly one element in the array, and that element is present in the last position, in the fifth position. Now how it is possible that only one element is present and that will be present in the fifth position? Because if we apply some series of insertion and deletion, then at certain moment it may happen that there is an element, let's say 40 here. So now what is rear? Now value of rear becomes 5. And what is front? Because there is only one element, the front could be the 5 also. But let us assume that there are some other elements. So this is 30 and 40. Only two elements are now. So what is front now? Front is 4. So rear is 5 and front is 4. Now had it been a linear queue and then we try to insert, then we could have said it is an overflow condition because rear is equals to max. But I am saying that I have to write down the algorithm in such a way that the same queue will behave like a circular queue. Means after last position, the next element could be inserted at 1. Okay, so this is not overflow. Now what is the overflow criteria in a circular queue? That you have to understand very carefully. See, one case that I will say, that suppose we have not performed any deletion. So first element is inserted 10. So this is rear and this is front. Suppose after few time we inserted then another element 20. So now this is front and this one is my rear position. Okay, this is rear. Now suppose another element inserted, let's say 25. So now front is 1, 2, 3. And what is rear? Rear is right now 3. Now suppose one more element is inserted, let's say 30. So rear value will change to 4. And now suppose another element is inserted. So rear value is now changed to, the new element is 40 and rear is now set to 5. See, all the elements are full and value of front is 1 and value of rear is 5. So this is full. So this is one situation where we can say the queue is full and it is overflow. There is another situation. Okay, but you can now, if I ask you how do you verify overflow, you cannot say when front is equals to 1 and rear is 5, that is an overflow situation. But there is an alternate situation also, where few insertion and few deletion has also taken place. Now suppose a different case. Suppose first we have delete. Suppose after this situation we have deleted 10 and we have deleted 20. So what is the current position? 25, 30, 40. So this is now my front. So what is the value of front? Front equals to 1, 2, 3. Front equal to 3. And this is my rear. So what is rear? Rear equal to 5. Now is this an overflow condition? In a circular queue? Definitely not. Now we can perform insertion more. So now suppose we want to insert 50. Now where can we insert that value 50? Tell me. We can insert value 50 here. And now this rear value will be updated. Now rear is now 1. Okay. Again, is the now overflow occurs? No. We have one more space left. So again another insertion is possible. Now suppose again insertion has taken place. And let's say 60. So now rear is 2. Now this is my overflow situation. Okay, all the elements are full and value of rear is right now 2, whereas value of front is 3. Okay, so this could be a situation. So there are two alternate situations. In one cases, it might happen that front is 1, so front is positioning the first element, and after that all the elements are inserted and rear becomes 5. This is one situation where we say this is overflow. Another situation is the value of rear just 1 less than front. Okay, so this is also an overflow situation. So there are two possible cases. Now we have to define one single criteria for these two cases. So we can say that single criteria is, we will say if rear with the current value of rear, perform addition with 1, find rear plus 1, mod means remainder, mod max is equal to front. This is the criteria. If rear plus 1 modular division with max, so whatever current value of rear, add 1 with it and find modular division by performing modular division with max value. Then if the result is equal to front, then we say it is overflow. How it is possible? Let me tell you. Now suppose there are 5 elements, max is 5. Now if we have front equal to 1 and rear equal to 5, this is overflow. So when rear is 5, rear 5 plus 1 is 6. Mod max means 5. So 6 mod 5 means how much? That is 6 modular division. If we perform division with 5, then what will be the remainder? 6 is divided by 5. What is the remainder? The remainder is 1. So which is equal to front. Okay, this case criteria satisfies. This case has been satisfied with this formula. Now let's see whether this criteria is satisfying with this formula or not. Now here rear is 2 and front is 3. So our formula says rear plus 1. So rear plus 1 means 2 plus 1 mod max. Mod max means max is 5. Okay. So 2 plus 1 is 3. So 3 mod 5. So what is the remainder if we perform 3 divided by 5? So see here divisor is higher and we want to perform division, we want to find out the remainder. So definitely the remainder will be, answer will be 3, because 3 divided by 5. So 5 zeros are zeros and the remainder will be 3. So 3 mod 5 is equals to 3. So see, my front value is 3. So the same formula is applicable in both these cases. So this is the overflow situation. Okay. So if this overflow occurs, then we cannot perform insertion. Okay. Check the overflow by applying this condition. When there is no overflow, if there is no overflow, then what? Then there are different alternative situations, because in that case we have to find out what is the value of rear, because whatever item we should insert at the rear end. So there are, in normal circumstances, we have to examine the value of rear, because if the value of rear is max and we are saying it is not overflow, so definitely there are space left in the first position. So in that case the rear should be set as 1. Okay, so if rear is equals to max but not overflow, then we should set rear equal to 1. This is where the circular queue comes into existence. Okay, and by setting rear equal to 1, we will perform insertion. Clear? Suppose rear is not max, so rear could be anything. In that case, we will examine if it is 0, because if rear is 0, then definitely front will be also 0 and the queue is empty. Okay, so front is 0. So if rear is 0, then also we have to set rear equal to 1 as well as front equal to 1. Okay, we will not examine this criteria. After, let us first insert and then we will examine, we will set about the change for, we will go for front, because after inserting in the rear position, we just simply need to check what is the value of front, because if value of front is 0, then we can make it 1, because that will be the only element in the queue. So there is no need of this criteria. So let me write the algorithm straight away. Okay, so algorithm to insert in a circular queue: insert underscore CQ. What are the parameters needed? We need an array, we need max to define the maximum size, then we need rear, and we need front, as well as we need item. So these are the parameter that is required for insertion. So you can define all these parameter. What is Q, what is max, you have to define here. Q means the array that represents the queue structure, represents queue data structure. Max size of queue. Rear index of rear element or last element. Front index of first element. And finally item data to be inserted. So after getting these inputs, my algorithm will work. So begin. This is the first step. First we need to check overflow. So my overflow condition is if rear plus 1 percentile means the modulus max is equal to front. Rear plus 1 percentile max equal to front, then print overflow, then exit. Okay, so end of if structure. So when this entire condition is false, then only we move to next step, because if these conditions are true, we will exit. So when this condition is false means overflow has not occurred, then we will jump over here. Now we have to set the value of rear. See, if rear equals to max, because when rear is max, our objective is to assign 1 to the rear, because now rear will point to the first position and from there we will perform insertion. Then rear equals to 1. Otherwise, if rear is not equal to max, then the normal circumstances we should increment the value of rear. Okay, if rear is not equal to max means n, then we simply increase the value of rear and we assign the item. Rear equals rear plus 1. So the value of rear is increased. Now we will say Q of rear equal to item. Okay, so after inserting item, one more test is needed to be conducted. We have to examine whether that item that inserted, is this the only element, is this the first element, in the okay, because if this is the first element, then earlier q was empty. So when q was empty, then definitely value of front would have been 0. So we should check if front equals to 0, because if front equals to 0 and an item has been inserted now, then definitely that item has been inserted in the position number 1. So we should make front equal to 1. So front equals to 1 and if. Okay, otherwise when front is not equal to 0, then definitely front should be 1 or 2 or something, and in that case whatever value of rear we don't care, we simply handle the rear. Okay, so now end. Okay, so I hope you understood this particular trick. See, let me give you with a diagram example. Suppose right now 1 2 3 4, let's say the size of the queue is 4. Okay, now initially q was empty, so what is the value of rear? Equals to 0. What is the value of front? Equals to 0. Okay, now as per my algorithm, this criteria will not match because this is not overflow condition, so it will jump here. And this is also fail. Rear equal to max? No, rear is not equal to max. So now else part will be conducted. So rear equals to rear plus 1. So rear becomes plus 1. So rear becomes 1 now. And then we assign q of rear equal to item. Let's say item is 10. So at 10 is assigned. Now this will examine if front is 0, because when the first item is inserted, the value of front should also point to the first item. So if front equals 0, yes, front is 0. So make it 1. Okay, so now front becomes 1. Okay, so now rear and front both are 1. Okay, after that, if we again perform insertion, again the same algorithm will continue. Rear plus 1, this overflow will not the rear plus 1 mod max is not equal to front. This criteria will be false because there is no overflow here. See, there is no overflow. So this criteria will be false. So it will move to here. If rear equal to max, no, because rear is 1, so it is not max. So we have not reached to the max. So if rear is max, no. So else part, rear is rear plus 1. So what is the value of rear? Rear becomes 2. Now q of rear equal to item. So now item is inserted 20. Now it will again examine if front equal to 0. No, front is not equal to 0. Front was 1. Already 1. So it is not equal to. This condition is false. So don't do anything. It will jump. Okay. So my front remains at 1 and front rear will be 20. Okay. Now more element could have been inserted by using the same algorithm. Okay. So this is what insertion in a circular queue. So in our next video, we will discuss about deletion in a circular queue. So deletion in a circular queue is very much similar to the deletion process of a linear queue, because when you perform deletion, you have to perform from the front end. Okay, so but we'll see that in our next class how with little variation, very minimal variation, we can write deletion algorithm in a circular queue. Okay, till then, goodbye.